Hi, and welcome to another edition of Blue Stained Glass Poetry. I'm your host, Marian Abdo. So last Sunday, I had a wonderful podcast interview with Jane Stahl from Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. It was a great conversation about poetry, the arts, and how the concept of my book came to be about. So Boyertown has become now one of my favorite places in Pennsylvania to visit. There's a lot of history in that area. There's great food, unique shops. Also, this past Saturday, I attended my first craft fair as an author. It was held at Mary Mother of God Parish's Auditorium. I had an opportunity to meet a lot of great people, and I did pretty well, selling the book. There were a lot of great conversations along the way. So, along with selling the book, I also sell postcards with my photography work, and also bookmarks. So a heralding high five to Mary Claire, Beth, and Alice for all their hard work of putting this, craft fair together. So I hope to see you gals next year. So this coming Thursday, November 23rd, is Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving is one of my most favorite holidays. I have so many memories of helping my grandmother prepare for our family's feast with their favorite recipes, especially pumpkin chiffon pie, which I will be making for Thanksgiving for my family this year. It was always something when my grandfather and my uncles would be watching 3 TVs, 1 TV with sound, 2 others without sound, and, the radio play in the background. Of course, sports, and more sports. As my grandmother would say, Andrew, as she was clicking her heels against the wooden floor. Andrew, do you think it's now time to sit with your family and enjoy Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh, those men just jumped out of the recliner, out of the sofa, and you better believe they were sitting there, enjoying our Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of memories with my family and my cousins. It's always nice to reminisce about those things. So I'm going to read 4 poems today. This is a new poem that I just did. It's titled Touring Grace. Touring Grace. Nothing compares to the journey of thankfulness. A soulful breath anticipates morning's first light. A child's innocent eyes wandering about your face, melting back into your eyes. Thoughtful meals prepared are acts of love. Comforting words are gifts someone else needed. While an act of self-love can erase false preconceptions of yourself. Pure silence breeds gratitude, staring at the love of your life while they slumber, grateful in finding each other, family and friends that genuinely care, mentors and strangers who have crossed your odyssey, a body that moves our emotions past our lips, a faith so unshakable and yet to be questioned. Grace is knowing that we are forgiven. Appreciation of this wondrous, glorious world. Comforts of home while reaching out to brothers and sisters in need. Finding we truly have it all without seeking any further. Nothing to be taken granted. And so abundantly grateful for life. And that's my new one, Touring Grace. And the other one I wrote a couple years ago, again, reminiscing about my grandmother. My grandmother and grandfather, they were the rock of the Jansen Zelznak clan. So this one is titled An Ode to Kitchen Tables. Many kitchen tables have been included as a supporting role in our lives, stabilizing our first rollover and crawl space for many a generation. A kitchen table enables its owners to pound dough into edible masterpieces, daily food prep for mealtime and conversations about the day, children's craft projects and homework, tooling around and tinkering, playing board games like Barbie and Ken's camper is parked on the side, figuring in household budgets, and shifting over family photographs. Coffee with family and friends, eating sweet treats from a glass bowl, crying, laughing, and hearing the latest gossip over a glass of wine, while Mom falls asleep on the Scranton Times newspaper around midnight, dressing the table in assorted holiday finery from the 1960s to present time. Your 1970s attire comes to mind with harvest gold and avocado green flowers, gathering around Grandma's table to fit 60 people, to feast upon many a Thanksgiving turkey and several Christmas hams. Less place settings are needed now when loved ones have passed away. Hoping they are seated at a larger banquet hall table further than the eye can see, relaying stories of their kitchen table lives for one and all, waiting for us to rejoin them at the new table of heavenly life. And that is Ode to Kitchen Tables. So I'm going to read two poems from the book, Fractured Lollipop, Poems of Brokenness, Healing, and Hope. And the first one is titled The Alchemy of Kindness. Kindness is a way to find a raised head with a smile. Shadowy figures love kindness, for it feeds their soul, like a friend that goes hauntingly into that heavenly night. Amongst the feathers, he is now lost to the wind. People do not notice the nuances of life. The skin is a healing encasement, like Italian silk scarves, with colors of green and gold, walking into this feeble connection. We may stand alone on earth, but we are never really alone by the cypress tree. Kindness changes misunderstood words into the light of clarity. We lose and yet remember those dreams that guide us towards the answers we seek. Familiar celebrations by the fireplace as our children were laughing and playing. So much kindness. Leaves will tumble like the sands of time, grain by grain, leaf by falling leaf, beckoning winter's call. The earth is famous to those who stop and ponder. Every child chases fireflies. The simplicity of childhood needs no introduction. It is just beauty. Our vegetable and flower gardens were ripe at harvest, making bouquets and potluck suppers. Their fragrance is kindness to all who entered our kitchens, wafting through the neighbors' windows. Dishes are now falling apart. Someday those shattered pieces will form a beautiful mosaic of kindness in your honor. Squinting my eyes from that mysterious light, stars shine like iridescent orbs. The golden act of transforming kindness will be etched, a never-fading form of spiritual elegance. This poem was written a year ago, the week after our friend Rick had passed away, and it's going to be a month next week that he has passed. So, Rick, we're thinking about you. We love you very much. And the next poem is called Deconstruction. Deconstruction. For I have wounds that are seen and unseen, hiding my scars for vanity's sake, recalling the pain of how each one came to pass. Deconstruct me, Lord, for ego and shame inhibit the vocation of my higher self. Hiding behind the false mask of security, deconstruct me, Lord, to dispel the falsehood of negativity. For my inner scars are deeply rooted in the weeping willow tree, weeping over events that are uncontrollable. Reconstruct me, Lord, so that the wounds may heal and claim the true nature of my calling. Enable me to throw away all pretenses of worldly ways and worldly means. Deconstruct me, Lord, and build me up brick by brick, filling up those cracks as you see fit, so that I may be your instrument on this earthly stage, making sure my actions is loving and joyful. And that is deconstruction. That was taken from one of a sermon that my priest had given last year too. So there is more good news about Fractured Lollipop, Poems of Brokenness, Healing, and Hope. As of today, 51 copies were sold. I want to thank everyone who has purchased this book. You, my readers, are giving back to our local community. I could not be more happier or proud. We are making a difference in the lives of people who, really need it the most. So the book is on Amazon for $11. As I had mentioned before, since the book came out, for every book sold, I am donating $1 to the Scranton Keystone Mission. And it is, like I said, on Amazon. I'm going to be doing some promos for the Christmas season. Also, a new book of poetry out from Scranton Poets Live. It is their 5th anthology. This is also on Amazon. Check their Facebook page for their poetry events. A lot of creative people in this area and a lot of beautiful, thought-provoking poetry. An excellent book. So next weekend, I'll be reading a various selection of poems. If anyone has a poem that you would like me to read, drop a comment or an email, or email me at marianne@blue-stained-glass.com, and I will be more than happy to read your poem and give you hireling high five. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because with this channel you're going to get eventually some maybe some great guests, or some different ideas about poems or poetry prompts. I'll like I said, I'll happy to read your poem if you send me an email or put it in the comments below. So tune in next weekend for more poetry. I thank you so much for stopping by Blue Stained Glass Poetry. Poetry is a creative response to the world around us. Have a great week, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. Take care.